following announcement has been paid for by the new Force Order.
Hey yo, it's your boy Spiro, aka Darth Spiridon.
Read the headband, destroy him. It's your boy GGP, aka Greek God Papadon, and you're watching the new Force Order NFO podcast, baby.
When you're NFO, you're NFO
for life.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the first edition of Mandomania. It's running wild all over Mandalore, all over the Outer Rim, all over whatever planet is in the Star Wars galaxy. Too many to mention right now. I'm not going to waste your time. I am 1/3 of the NFO, GGP. Alongside with me, you know my other two compadres. Say your names real quick.
Dr. Destroyo, Alex Arroyo.
Darth Spiridon, what you gonna do?
Well, let me tell you something here, brothers. When it comes crashing down and it burns inside, the Mandalorian is going to run wild on you, because that's exactly what's going on. Disney Plus, November 12th, today, dropped. And it dropped hard and fast. And the person who knows about dropping stuff hard and fast in his college days is Doc, but that's another story for another time. The Mandalorian came, kicked down the doorway on the 4th floor, and all you heard was, Mando, please don't hit me no more. Because guess what? That show was epic. In Filoni and Favreau, GGP trusts. And I did a little reaction video. I had to pull over, get it over my chest. I was so overwhelmed with joy and happiness. Boys, how did you feel about the podcast, about the show?
It was awesome. We've been waiting for Disney to drop something like this since the inception of Star Wars and Disney, and here it is. Fantastic, top to bottom. We'll get into it. I have detailed notes. I watched it twice. I watched it on the train coming back from Manhattan. I watched it with my wife, who was making fun of me because I was literally sitting down like a little fucking girl taking notes. I loved it. Fantastic.
Man.
Butcher?
Yo, to quote our brother here, I thought the episode was too sweet. Listen, man, I fucking popped for it, man. I thought it was great. I thought it's a great start. This is what happens, man, when you put a property like Star Wars and you put it in the hands of proven talent like Jon Favreau and the one man that everybody across the Star Wars fandom loves, Dave Filoni, man. Look at what they came up with. Look at what they produced. I'm super excited. Can't wait for the next episode.
Oh, the next episode is dropping on Friday, which is the 15th, I believe, if my math is correct.
Only a couple of days later, baby.
But here's the deal. I am calling this now. I am like Nostradamus when it comes to Star Wars lore. Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau will direct and produce the next trilogy of films coming from Star Wars. Mark my words, you heard it here first. Papa Don called the spot, because I am a professional.
Papa Damas.
Yeah, Allah, baby. So seriously, the show starts off. No
Wait a minute, hold on. Sorry, hold on.
Before you go even in there, Spiro was thinking what I'm thinking. Go ahead, say it.
Disclaimer: you've been warned. If you haven't watched this episode, this will be a spoilerific episode of which they all will be of Mandomania. So if you haven't watched the first episode, turn this off, go watch it, and then come back.
100%. Before you even get to the first scene, did you guys notice the Star Wars intro that Disney actually put together, where it was R2-D2, Darth Vader,
Yes.
C-3PO, Kylo Ren, the mask, as they showed the light kind of flashing off them? Immediately, I got fucking chills watching that.
Yeah, man.
It was a perfect intro, showed Star Wars at the end, and then it was go time.
Yeah, that was very Marvel-esque. I wonder if I really doubt it, but I wonder if that was influenced by Kevin Feige, Fuji.
No, Fujiwara armbar here, boys. Jon Favreau started the MCU with Iron Man, so I wouldn't be surprised if we have some tidbits
Yes.
that have been used in the MCU in the past within Star Wars.
Yep.
Now, like I was saying before, I was just smartened up with my two handsome and smart brothers right here. No lockup, no chain wrestling. They started the match off hot out the gate. Amazing scenario, set the tone for the entire episode, and in my opinion, the entire series. This is your Clint Eastwood / Desperado / Seventh Samurai / Johnny Cash song come to life, meeting a galaxy far, far away, and they captured the ambiance, the essence, if you will, in the opening sequence. Just like that. I thought it was amazing the way they start off in the cantina. The guy's yelling, "You spilled my drink. You spilled my drink. I don't like you. He don't like you either." No, sorry, wrong film. But it was almost like a throwback to that.
Absolutely, 100%. It felt like the second it started, it felt like Star Wars, which is the most important thing for me when it came to it. And it continued to feel like Star Wars, which was perfect. That's exactly what I needed. I had problems today downloading it on Disney Plus. I texted you guys. I was losing my shit. I couldn't get it. I took the train to Manhattan, and when I got to where I got my Wi-Fi, downloaded it, watched it. Super excited because it felt like Star Wars.
Spiro and I were laughing in the cut.
I know you were.
In order, because we saw it. I woke up this morning early, not by chance, just happened to wake up early. By chance. I wasn't predetermined to wake up early. I got Disney Plus last night. I said I'll watch it today at work or whatever at my lunch break. Then I went to go download the app and I see it was ready. Then I said, I wonder what time they're going to drop Mandalorian. Boom, 6 a.m. it was ready. On the elliptical machine, watching it, marking out like a sucker.
Yeah,
because
man.
it was awesome. This is by far, in my opinion, the greatest thing Disney Star Wars has put out so far. And you know me, I love each and everything they've dropped. This is better than Solo for me. Better than Force Awakens. Better than Rogue One. And better than Spiro's favorite film, The Last Jedi.
Definitely better than that, yeah.
100% agreed. I think I got probably 7 text messages from random people who probably don't actually watch the show saying, "Dude, Mandalorian, amazing." And then it was the conversations after that. So it's not just me. It's not just the hardcore fans like us. It's guys who are kind of casual fans who downloaded Disney Plus, watched it, and absolutely loved it.
Yo, I definitely think that a lot of people, who are casual fans are gonna definitely jump on the bandwagon fucking hard. You were talking about this
we
morning.
gotta run it.
We
gotta run it,
We gotta run it.
Y'all, 1, 2, 1, 2.
What a way to start off the inaugural episode of Mandomania. This is the NFO's review show of The Mandalorian, and I can't be happier than to have my brother, my conspiracy horseman brother, the man who totes the Star Wars flag with me against those evil, no-good jabronis.
That's right.
Stevie Richards and Big Sal Graziano, my man, Ben Hamin. How you doing, brother?
Y'all, Sith in the house, infidels. That's right. The Empire strikes back, and Hamin's back in black, morons, as we strike you down lightsaber double blade style here on the New Force Order podcast. Y'all, good man. Ready to do it, man. Ready to do it. I was so excited to see that you guys were still on. I just wrapped with Russo and Stevie doing Master Shoot, so I was glad to be able to.
We just hopped on. We're doing the initial show first for the review, and then we're doing the main podcast. So stay on.
Perfect.
If you can. Real quick. This morning we checked out the NFO. We all popped. The Mandalorian. We popped huge. LOD pop.
Yeah, it was great.
Your first reaction. Don't say it's great. I want to see the thrill in Manila.
I gotta tell you, man, the thrill is definitely not gone. The thrill is back. I gotta say, this is my favorite thing since Darth Maul. I think this outshined all last 3-4 movies, dude. The way it looked, the way it felt. We've moved into an era into backstory and side characters backstories that are more entertaining, and not just here, whether it's Johnny's story and the Karate Kid as we reboot that and things like that. To see these ids of what these other characters are. So we're watching Mandalorians. We don't even know who this character, Marks might, you guys, I'm sure know him by name and everything, but we know Boba Fett and then the Mandalorians from the cartoon. So to see this kick off this way with not seeing the face of our hero or this bounty hunter already. And, it's very familiar scenes in Star Wars, but it just had an awesome feel. Everything that Star Wars should be, where you're in a new planet in an outer world and you feel like that, like you're exploring. It was all right there in the first 2 minutes, man. They did a great job.
I was saying before you jumped on, bro, before you ran in, it set the ambiance, the move. It was the opening match, and they set the tone for the rest of the card, bro. It was on point. I mean, you just said it. I know my boys are going to say it because we all agreed. Someone take over because I don't want to be the only one talking. Let's walk through this episode. We'll go through everything scene and scene real quick, and we'll wrap it up.
You know what? Look, man. Talking about side characters and all that, I popped huge when the main character walked into some hallway or some shit, and there was the Mando crest and that blacksmith, that armorer, whoever the fuck she was, man. It's like, yo, man, they're gonna get deep into Mandalorian lore, dude. I'm so fucking psyched, man. I can't wait.
You think you pop, motherfucker?
Look at this motherfucker
on my fucking arm, baby. The Mando crest. The second I saw that shit, I went bananas. He walks into whatever that was. They didn't explain it. He walks in the door. He speaks to the forger. Comes through. He sees all those Mandalorians with a helmet, with the fucking rangefinders coming up. Amazing. That whole section, which they didn't have to include because they could have had a whole show without that, is now a whole new layer of the onion when it comes to dealing with the Mandalorian. I am excited to see them dig deep into the whole thing and actually see where they're going with that.
They laid a lot of backstory in this, in that when he goes to the armorer, where I'm not sure if she's a sorcerer or some type of tribal elder who bestows, like, when you get the piece of armor, you level up, right? Apparently, obviously, from this high grade ore that he brings her.
What was it called? Beskar.
But I thought what was really great is when she's hammering out things, and every time the hammers, we get a flashback of him as a child in some type of war scene when the Empire is obviously conquering multiple worlds, which drive him where he says he's a foundling. And he gives up the rest of the money from his bounty that'll help other foundlings. So he's an orphan, Yep. We know these backstory things. So, any orphan in that way is going to have a master. We'll find out who that is, I'm sure, in future episodes. Also later on in the go home, when he has to go collect the final bounty before they attack the base, his guide, which in any Western would be an Indian guide, local guide to take you there, says, your people used to ride whatever X legendary beast, because he was having trouble breaking the local, beast there to be his horse to take him where he needed to go through the rough terrain. So even there, you're going to see where he'll eventually have to encounter some bigger beast where he will become Mother of Dragons and he will be the badass who rides around on some super beast that saves the day as well. So they drop a lot in there throughout of past, present, and future of what his destiny is and where he came from.
Can I just say, I'm sorry, can I just say that scene right there, it reminds me of the Lone Ranger trying to conquer Silver, like Tonto training the Lone Ranger, right?
Well, you don't have to say that because you don't have to say that. You don't have to say that because I have spoken. That's his rock line, right? Like he gets his rock shit in at the end. It doesn't matter what
Nick Nolte, dude. Nick Nolte coming through in the cut with that being the Ugnaught and stole the show with that one line. I have Favreau did say that this series will tie in a lot of the past, present, and future, and legend that's incorporated within Star Wars, meaning stuff that's already canon, stuff that was canon and got dished out by Disney is going to get sprinkled in. Here's two things. One, that motherly beast, whatever the name was, is the beast that Boba Fett was riding in the holiday Christmas special, that big dragon lizard thing.
Yeah, that's the one he said. You're right.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
What's
two,
it called?
I don't know what the hell it was called.
Yeah.
Two, they mentioned Earth Day.
Yeah. Life Day.
Life Day. Sorry, Life Day.
Yes.
They mentioned Life Day, which is
I-
part of the holiday special.
I
which
popped.
The
Oh.
holiday special was, it was like the Rick Rickon of Star Wars. It's
No,
the
I-
Christmas shit.
I know what it was, but that's cool that he's doing it. And I mean, Favreau's, I have huge respect for because he started at Improv Olympic like me. I was a huge mark for swingers and all that early stuff they did. And you know, obviously now he's a made guy through all of the Tony Stark shit and all, you know, X-Men and everything. He's had a hand in there. But to see him just straight up go Lone Ranger, go Clint Eastwood westerns, spaghetti westerns, and even take the guide, the heels, the bar scene, exactly how it would be in any western that was made in 1950s,
Yep.
and apply that to Star Wars, back up. It for a filmmaker or for a director watching it, that's who he's making it for. He's not making it just for the lowly fans. The fans are going to have to come up to Favreau's level. He's going to put things in there that are so high level and so future telling that will shape the future creation of Star Wars. That's the level he's playing on now, while paying respect, not just the Star Wars universe, but the entire world of filmography, from Shogun movies to spaghetti westerns to sci-fi that we've known and loved forever, as it all gets mixed in there, to fantasy. And I think he is, off this first episode, he fucking nailed it. I can't pick out one thing where I would have been like, no, I wouldn't have made that choice. It was all there.
Spiro, you're a director. What's your directorial point of view on the episode? You concur with Ben? Anything to add? Anything you didn't like?
I can't think of a single thing that I didn't like in this. This, guys, I gotta tell you, man, Disney, by me, and I'm sure by you guys and everybody else, but specifically by me, that hated The Last Jedi. Star Wars, Disney did right by me. Okay, they did Star Wars right here. You know, a lot of, like Ben said, a lot of elements from Western films, samurai films. To me, and I've said this before, the Mandalorian, the main character, to me was like this intergalactic version of Batman. A quick question. What are your guys' thoughts on the stormtroopers? They seem to be now like
Sure.
these thugs for hire now.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah, man.
That's because Operation Cinder came into play, which was the contingency plan from the Emperor, and he took the best of the best. And his line was that an empire that cannot protect his emperor does not belong to exist. So he sent the best of the best to the Outer Rim, and that through the ashes of the Empire, that's where the First Order was formed. It's canon. It's in the Aftermath novels. It's in the video game Battlefront 2, right? With Operation Cinder, the people that got left behind, little sects were formed throughout the galaxy.
Sure.
And like Werner Herzog, who's playing the German dude, he had his little group of stormtroopers that now look all rag and tag, and
They're mercenaries now.
Yeah, because their gear looks all broken.
Yeah, they did a
old
great
and
job
weathered.
rusting their gear, and like, I mean, to me, that was a big commentary on the fall of Russia and breaking up in Ukraine into smaller states that way, with people becoming war dogs. And I really popped huge. Another great line was, he's 50 years old. We found that. So they implant in your mind.
Yeah.
But as soon as he said that, real Star Wars heads aren't looking for a guy who's 50 that's going to be the age of, a grown man. I knew, I had a feeling what the go home was going to be from that. And I could not, like, I knew what was coming, but I was like, well, I know Yoda lived to be 800,
900,
yeah, right. So like 50 years old. So I was like, that doesn't mean shit because whatever, it could be that. And then as we get closer, and then the droid says, well, different races age differently. And then I knew right away what we had before they even cut to it right there. So
Right,
they
before we go to the finish, how about for Taika Waititi playing the voice of IG-11?
Loved them.
It was
Loved them.
amazing.
That guy tried to blow himself up more time than your cousins did in the Taliban did. Swear to God, that was like the ultimate suicide bomber.
Yalla.
I love that droid. He's probably my new favorite droid out of anything in Star Wars, dude.
And I love the fact that the Mandalorian turned face and shot him in the head.
Yeah.
Right
Well,
before he was.
This is all more great stuff where he needs his Doc Holliday, who doesn't give a fuck, right? And Doc Holliday's a badass killer, so is he, but this guy can kill with reckless abandon. He's a droid, so we don't have too much emotion for him. And it was already established in the getaway when he tries to take the taxi that he doesn't want to have one with an R2 unit drive him to his ship. So he says no droids, and then was it Brian Posen, I think, pulls up as the taxi driver?
Yeah.
And takes him, and then they get attacked or whatever. But like that just shows his disdain. So have this droid have his back, so later when he kills it, he's not attached to it at all. That trust or whatever, he uses things like that are inanimate objects when he needs it for safety, but he's not married to it, even though they're in the bounty hunters guild together.
Now he's going to catch heat because of that.
He's
going to catch
about
heat.
that. Yeah,
that's that John Wick shit right there. When you don't fucking shoot people in the middle of the hotel when it's fucking neutral ground. Same gimmick, same spot. Anyway, go on.
Now, I got a question. Do you guys think that he's gonna catch heat for that, or is he gonna drag his fucking droid body, reprogram him?
He probably will.
Yeah,
I
don't know. I think that thing was expendable. Like if they made one droid, they made 1,000 of them so he can get another one. That one was sent. Yeah, there you go.
Damn.
And you know,
they made a figure of him.
The big go home with the reveal of who their bounty was for. You know, that shows the humanized versus the droid, which isn't that the real id of Star Wars. Human teamwork versus a cold mechanical army that has immeasurable guns and whatever to impose its force. So I thought even in that closing moment, it drove home a great id. And there like you said, we have we say Yoda, but what race is Yoda?
What do you call his race?
They never mentioned his race.
He's from Uzbekistan.
Yeah, right?
He's Uzbek.
Listen, they've never mentioned his race in Star Wars, and they've only been two creatures of his race present in all of Star Wars lore.
There's
Yoda.
There's a purple one, right?
A what?
Wasn't there a purple one?
No, it was Yoda, and then there was a girl in the prequels who was on the Jedi Council named Yaddle, and she disappeared like a fart in the wind. She powdered. No one knows what happened to her. But here's the deal. Now, we have a baby. Let's call it Yoda.
Somebody must have fucked her because there's a baby.
Exactly. Either that or is it a clone?
That's true. That's good too.
Who knows?
And why do they want it dead? Because it's
but wait a minute.
Does that mean you're cloning metachlorians now too as well?
Listen, all I know is I spoke to my sources, and my sources said they knew about this months ago because they got some concept art off of a friend of a friend of a friend who's working on the show, and they kept the kayfabe, and he told me that this series is going to have such a massive impact on the canon itself that this is just the cherry on top of the sundae. We haven't seen anything yet, and he told me he's not going to tell me anything that he knows already because he doesn't want to ruin it for me. But I'm telling you guys, this is going to be the defining moment of Star Wars moving forward.
You got you got pretty much 3 Star Wars movies worth of Star Wars business done in one episode in an hour here.
Oh, absolutely.
And
absolutely.
Not having to switch worlds more than once. And even the setup of put heat on your heels, make your baby off your heel, from the early bar fight to seeing characters that we've known from the other bar scenes in the cantina to answering the questions, will you ever really be cut in half by a Star Wars door? Yes, you will.
There you go.
You know, and then carbon.
What a toilet looks like in the Star Wars universe. The first time they ever showed a toilet.
all that kind of stuff. So, and you know, technology that we've been used to with carbon freezing, and even making this guy like we're interested in this bounty. Like, what is this guy about? And then he just gets marginalized just to show that the Mandalorian is a bounty hunter, and that's it at the end of the day. So the first 12 minutes is just exposition to set the backdrop, but let you know here's the adventure you're going to be going on more than one time. And this blue fish motherfucker really doesn't matter at the end of the day until we say he does, when he's got to do a stooge report. He'll probably do a run in later, right?
Probably.
He'll matter. Otherwise, he wouldn't have gotten that big of a shine.
Well, listen, a couple of things.
He was great, though, the blue guy. He was hilarious.
He was phenomenal. He was phenomenal.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Total chicken shit heel. I loved it.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm taking shit right now. Do you want to watch this over here?
I'm molting.
Couple things. One, the fact that Imperial credits weren't good anymore, which was
Imperial credits are no good here.
Right? The fact that he rather take the calamari currency than actual Imperial credits goes to show you how much of a fall from grace the Empire had 5 years after the Battle of Endor. 1. 2, the people in the I didn't see it, but you know, I heard it recently today on another podcast that the people in the carbon that are frozen in the carbon, one looks like George Lucas, one looks like Kathleen Kennedy. I don't know if it was happenstance or whatever.
Deserves to be in carbon.
Stop it. Don't talk about it like that. We want to get sponsored.
Is that where we are? Is 5 years post
5 years after Return of the Jedi? Yeah.
Okay.
So that's that. And personally, Ben, I'm glad you're here. Boys, I thought this episode was fantastic. Proper way to start off the series, in my opinion.
Great
when it comes crashing down and it burns inside, it's all about the Mandalorian. This has been your first edition of Mandomania. And Mandomania, ladies and gentlemen, is running wild. So all I'm going to say is this. Catch us on the main show. Catch us on Tatooine. Catch us on Who's More Over. But what you going to do when the Mandalorian comes to collect his bounty and his bounty is you?